Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today we have the Washington Quarter from 1979. You see this one up here, no mint mark, and that's where the mint mark would go. That means it's from Philadelphia. Over here we have a D, so-called filled D variety. Down here we have an S, and that's for the San Francisco Mint. And then over here we have a S for the San Francisco Mint, the so-called clear S. So we'll talk about the filled S and the clear S varieties of the San Francisco Mint coin. We'll talk about the Philadelphia coin, and we'll talk about the Denver coin and what some people call a filled D on the Denver coin. And we'll also talk about these coins over here, which are some 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars, first year it came out, and take a look at the mint marks on these. That's the P. For the Susan B. Anthony coin, they put the P on there for Philadelphia, whereas they didn't for the Washington Quarter. But the P is filled. The S is filled, and that is an S. It's hard telling. It's a filled S. And then the D is filled. So for many of the coins that came out in 1979, all of the letters are filled. And so it's not like a real surprise. And if you get one of these that has the filled D on it, it's not going to be of any real value. If you get one of these that has the filled S on it, it's not going to be a great value either, except it's going to be worth less than the clear S. Now sometimes you'll see a quarter like this, which is a damaged quarter. You won't see these listed as a special variety or anything. It's actually something that went wrong at the mint and somehow somebody got it. But these days, it's very hard to get these because it's technically a theft if you take one of these from a mint. So you'll see some of these from the older coins. This is a 1979. You can see it's double struck up here. You also see this is NGC has actually guaranteed that it's an actual coin. Double struck, 65% off center. So they actually rate how far off center it is. And then when you look at that, you'll see this is the actual coin. It has this little extra piece on this side of it. And if we look on the back, we'll see that it's there also. And there we go. The back of it has this extra piece that kind of is messy over here. And part of the eagle. So these are great coins. This one was on sale. If you want to find out where these are, generally what you'll have to do is have to look at the auction sites, eBay or another site. Almost none of these would be listed in a book as a variety of the 1979 coin. So let's take a look at these. Philadelphia Mint in 1979. They made 516 million quarters. If we tip it up, we see this is a very, very good version of the coin. Liberty at the top, In God We Trust here, 1979, and then way down at the bottom underneath is a J and an F there for John Flanagan, who was the engraver of this coin. It has a reeded edge, and if you tip it up, you can see the copper on the inside. So this is a copper-nickel blend over a fully copper center. If we tip it up like this, you see this is a very, very good quality coin. This is one we borrowed from one of our friends. United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum, $quarter here. Incredible detail going through. In 1979, however, you're never going to see leg feathers on the eagle. You can see them coming down the body, and you can see them between the legs here like this. This is about as good as you're going to get. Down here you see the eagle's holding some arrows with a ribbon around them, and then the tail feather of the eagle comes down here, and you can see it touches in a number of places on this tied olive branch or olive wreath that's down below it. The Philadelphia Mint, a Mint State 65, which is probably close to what this is, would be worth about $16. A Mint State 68, which is the best they've ever found, is graded by PCGS at about $10,000. And they've only found one of those so far. At the Denver Mint, and you can see the D here, and you can see the filled D. And so if you get some trying to sell you the special filled D version of this coin, almost every single one of them's filled. And the ones that aren't filled aren't worth any more. The value of these is determined by the mint state, or how close they are to mint state, not by whether the D is filled. Again, Liberty at the top. You see a little green over here. This happens sometimes with these coins. They get some colors to them, and you see a little tint over much of this coin. At the Denver Mint, they made $490 million. The auction record is $1,078 for a Mint State 66, but they found a Mint State 68 of this coin, and that's worth $6,500. At a Mint State 65, which this is really close, they're worth about $20. And again, you can see great quality, great color, great definition for the letters and the details on here, but you're not going to see the feathers down the legs on these ones. What you might be able to see, though, is this little tail, like a cowlick thing that comes off the back of the eagle. But even on these ones, you're not going to see the beak line. Maybe never, possibly on the Mint State 68. They also made it at the San Francisco Mint, and they used two different mint marks at the San Francisco Mint. And this is the most prevalent one here, what they call the filled S. And you can see that that S looks like it's kind of filled. It's the same exact S that's on the Susan B. Anthony. And we can put them next to each other, and you can see that this one's a little bit more filled than the Susan B., but it's that kind of square block. And you can see how when they hit it down, the square block actually dented the coin a little bit there. Between the filled S and the clear S, they made $3.7 million at the San Francisco Mint. The auction record for a filled S is $403. They currently, proof 65 goes for $7, and a proof 70 goes for $30. So these will not be hugely expensive coins. And I'll show you one that we were able to get for under $10, and that is a 1979 S Type 1 Proof 69 Deep Cameo. So this is almost as good as you can get. There's only one state that's better than this. And we look at that and we see that it's just fantastic. You see that it's definitely a deep cameo. You see this one is the filled S version. And then if you look on the back, you see that this one, as good as it gets, little tiny bits of leg feathers on the Proof 69 from the Proof version, and then at the top you can see the PCGS certification and strip here showing that it's authentic. So this one right here in this incredible shape is worth under $10. The clear S is worth a little bit more, and we don't know how many filled and how many clears they made, other than to know that this one has a higher value on it. The auction record is $495 for a Proof 70, but the current value is about $60 for a Proof 70 Deep Cameo, and because they found 726 of them. A Proof 65 is worth about $5. And you can see even on these ones, this is a proof coin, you're not going to see any feathers on the legs. This is as good as it gets. Now look at, some people say, well, how can this be a proof coin? It has all this tarnish on it. Proof coins will tarnish too. And so if we look at the back of this one, you'll see this is spectacular. This is a deep cameo, but even this one has no feathers on the legs. But look how pronounced this is where these leaves come over the wings of the eagle. All right, so they're out there. They're not hugely expensive. If you want to get a really expensive one, you have to get up to about Mint State 68. And they have four different mint marks from three different mints. You have the D, you have the no mint mark, you have the filled S, and you have the clear S. And remember that 1979 is the year that the Susan B. Anthony coin came out. And that's there's still plenty of these around. They're not highly collectible, but if you can get one in really, really good shape, it has some value. All right, thanks for watching DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.